Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Husker Athletics officially announced the date for the football spring game. It will be played on March 28th with kickoff set for 11 a.m. Tickets for the spring game will go on sale next Thursday, the 19th at noon. For more information, visit huskers.com. Nebraska baseball gets underway this Friday against UConn, and earlier today, the Big Ten released their preseason poll and players to watch. Nebraska is projected to finish fourth in the conference, behind UCLA, Oregon, and USC, and ahead of both Indiana and Iowa. Nebraska's players to watch include Jet Buck, Ty Horn, and Case Sanderson. And finally, the updated National 10-Pin Coaches Association rankings came out today, and Husker bowling is ranked 6th. Nebraska is one of 9 Conference USA members ranked in the top 10. Huskers will return to action on February 20th as they host the Big Red Invite at Hollywood Bowl. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Elbow jumper up, no good. Rebound, Price Sanford off that miss of Buchanan, and here's Hoiberg into the front court. Fakes the bounce pass, pull up Jay. Got it, Sammy, my boy. He's got 13 points. 3 threes for Sam, and he is on a heat check.
Take off the bounce, 7 to shoot, deep in the right side, catch and shoot 3. Nisley, you betcha. Her career high 6. Central Valley egg 3, and she's got 22 points.
2 outs, no one on. The 1-2 again from Jordy. Stewart swings and misses. Strike 3, and Nebraska takes down number 1, defending national champion Texas, 8-5. And in case anybody in the softball world was wondering, Nebraska is going to be right in the middle of this thing this year.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome in. We've got a full 2 hours headed your way here on Sports Nightly, including our Nebraska men's basketball hour coming up in hour number 2. The head coach, Fred Hoiberg, going to be here with Kyle.
Yeah, talk all things yesterday. I know we kind of want to forget about yesterday, but there was a lot of excitement in the second half of that game, especially in the final 15 minutes. I don't think anybody thought that game was going to head to overtime, considering the way the first half went, but credit to Nebraska basketball, the way they fought. There's no moral victories in this game, but there's still a lot of season to go. So look forward to having Fred in studio. A lot to talk about. Alumni weekend this weekend. Yep. I think upwards of nearly 70 alums are coming back and honoring the 30th anniversary of the NIT champs in '96. So there's a lot to get to.
Absolutely, and you and I will dive into that as well, but it is a huge day today and actually the next 24, well, not quite 24 hours, but over the next day for Nebraska, the University of Nebraska and Nebraska Athletics as Glow Big Red has officially kicked off. You might have seen it across the social media platforms, and to talk about that with us here live on the show, we welcome in Tyler Kai, friend of the program.
Yep.
Been here with us several times, the Deputy AD for Revenue Generation, and Connie White, the Director of Public Relations for the University of Nebraska Foundation. You've also been with us here on the program. So thanks. Welcome back.
Thanks. It's great to be here this evening.
Okay, well, let's just dive into it. What is Glow Big Red for those that might not be familiar with it?
Well, Glow Big Red started back in 2019 in celebration of the University of Nebraska's 150th anniversary. And it's really just a day where we celebrate this campus and uplift our students and raise funds to support causes across the university.
You see a lot of fans have already gotten involved, and those that are supporting not just athletics, but the university as well. How do fans and alums, and if you just want to contribute, get involved? What's the website situation? How do you give?
Yes, thanks for asking. So if you'd like to make a gift, please go online to glowbigred.unl.edu. And the thing we'd ask you to do is to give before noon tomorrow, Thursday, because it's a 24-hour day of giving, and we'll stop counting at noon tomorrow.
So we're going to talk about the incentives and what it does for athletics, but in terms of the university, what does this day mean to the university? What is the benefits for, and what does the university gain out of this day of giving?
Sure. So there are more than 200 causes across the university for people to support. So the great thing is, Valentine's Day is coming up. This is really a chance to show your love to whatever is important to you at UNL, whether that be an athletic program, whether that be student scholarships, whether that be a student hardship fund for students that might face an unexpected financial need and need a little help. So, you go online and you can look around, and you're definitely going to find something of interest to you, I think.
You said it started back in 2019. What was the idea behind it, and how has it grown? It's grown a ton since then, right?
Right, it has grown. I think it was started thinking that it was an opportunity to engage the larger UNL community in supporting the university and really just celebrating and highlighting what UNL means to not only Lincoln, but the state of Nebraska.
All right, and Tyler, this thing just got kicked off at noon, and we already have record-breaking numbers.
We do. It's a historic day, which is awesome. So I think all of last year on Glow Big Red for the entire university and our campus, we raised a little north of $1 million. Athletics has already surpassed $1 million ourselves, which is awesome. We can't take very much credit. That's a credit to the people that have stepped up already. And again, to your point, we've got 18 hours left with this. So the possibilities for what we can accomplish are pretty cool. And we hear it all the time, right? Every time Troy comes on our show, he always says, set the standard. I think we're really trying to set the standard this year with a pretty historic day.
You're looking at the leaderboards right now, and you mentioned athletics is over $1 million. College of Business is in second place doing their thing. And you could follow the leaderboard. You go to glowbigred.unl.edu. But it's fascinating, the response that you've gotten this year. I mean, we talked about the numbers last year and how this exponentially has grown into something massive. I mean, these are pretty eye-opening numbers, Tyler, when you look at it.
Well, as Connie mentioned, so the first year, 2019, our numbers, we raised $2,200. And so this year, for us to surpass $1 million with athletics, again, just goes to show the momentum that's behind Husker Athletics right now. And I think that's another element of these days of giving that makes it really fun, is that there is this live leaderboard. It is kind of gamified, right? You can see the momentum and the collective impact that's happening in real time. So as folks are making gifts, we have leaderboards. We are unlocking challenges. The website's pretty interactive. Every time we hit certain thresholds of donor counts, confetti will pop on the website. It's pretty fun.
So tell fans and listeners who are maybe not familiar with what we're talking about. So there are friendly competitions going on amongst all the sports, and there are going to be different incentives for who raises the most and who gets the most donors involved.
This is the best part about Glow Big Red from an athletics perspective, is that we pit each program against each other. So Judd Cornell's got a pretty big target on his back because he's won back-to-back years. So Judd with men's golf, he does a really good job of engaging the golf community in the state of Nebraska and Husker Athletics to support him. But right now, if you look at the total donor count, Peter Cobalt's got him with men's tennis.
I'm not surprised.
Neither am I.
Not surprised on that one.
Yeah, if you know Peter, he's a go-getter. So it's fun. It's cool to see these programs really try to rally those that care deeply about individual programs. So I would suspect that if you keep following that along for the next 18 hours, you're going to see a lot of jockeying that's going to happen.
How important is something like this where, in terms of rev share, where you have designated funds going to certain programs, but something like this where you can actually raise money that's going to the certain sports? Yeah,
so this is a little bit of that evolution we see in college athletics. We introduced these excellence funds last year. So this is really the second year that we've been promoting these. But now that within the NIL space, you can't really utilize the collective, right? We had to unfortunately close 1890, and that's just simply because of the rules and regulations behind the House settlement. These are a great opportunity to still involve those that stepped up from an NIL perspective through the collective to give directly to a program. So each time that you make a gift to one of these excellence funds, it is earmarked specifically for that program. And then the coaches would work with their sport administrator and the executive team to figure out how to use them. We don't really put a ton of definition behind how those funds are used other than whatever they need to be excellent. So if there's a training trip they need to take, and I know Judd Cornell has done this with men's golf, they need to go down to Arizona in February when the weather may not be as good, although the last couple weeks have been pretty good here. they're able to go escape and to chase some warm weather and train so that they're ready to go for that spring competition season.
Which also plays into recruiting as well.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. Shout out track and field and cross country. What a tremendous start. There's a long way to go, and we're getting donations in by the second and by the minute. But in terms of athletics, they are in first place pretty handily right now. That's that.
Right. They've had some donors that have stepped up with some pretty large gifts. I think that's a good point too, Kyle. Like the point of the day is about participation. That doesn't stop people from making really generous donations. We've already had several of those. I mean, when you start to, if you want to do some math and look at the $1 million broken across 800 and some gifts, the amounts are not tremendous. The smallest gift amount is $5 that you can make. We obviously encourage people to make gifts larger than that. I think some of the thresholds that we've set on the athletics page is $75. We really encourage people to give $100. That makes them an active Husker Athletic Fund member. All the way up to, we've had some people that have made a couple $5,000 gifts that have called in to the office today that made $5,000 donations. So it's been fun. So
the incentives are not just for the certain teams and programs. It's also for those that are giving as well. That also gives back to when you're talking about seating and the other
Bingo.
priorities and stuff that goes into what you guys are doing.
That's exactly right. All this ties back into Husker Athletic Fund membership as well. So really a double incentive. If people want to participate, there's some good momentum. It's also our early bird deadline. So there is some advantages for folks that want to make gifts. They will be able to get some priority point bonuses to lock in on that early bird. So it's been and I think that's been what's motivated a lot of activity, is that we do have people that are paying closely attention to their Husker Athletic Fund membership and their benefits that they get with that. But then again, I just think it's fun to see all the collective impact that's happening. That between all those gifts, you see $1 million of impact, and we've got a long way to go yet.
And I'm pretty new here, so I'm wrapping my mind around just how big the alumni base is for UNL, and just knowing the athletics and how widespread that is. But just how vast is the amount of places you're getting donations from, and how big this alumni base truly is that helps out UNL and the athletics programs.
Well, and I haven't looked at where last year. I know we got donors from every state. I can't imagine we won't achieve that again this year. But one of the other things that I think is fueling our success this year is there's more than $545,000 in challenge and matching gifts. So if you make a gift and you want to support, say, the College of Business, Cornhusker Marching Band, anything, there's in many cases somebody will match your gift, and so you'll get more out of that gift. And those are just generous donors. Many of them are alumni who are stepping forward to do that.
Are there incentives on the university side for giving?
So there is, if you make a $75 gift. Aside from, in addition to what Tyler was talking about, there's a Husker tote bag if you make a $75 gift. It's just a way of saying thank you. But like we truly believe every gift matters. A gift as small as $5, if that's what you can do, please do that.
I would have to think, Tyler, that smack talk goes back and forth between these coaches. Like, this is
who's the most competitive
This
head
is
coach?
legitimate money, though. Like, there's smack talk. You want to win this.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is going to help you.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, Judd does have a target on his back. Like, because he's won it 2 years in a row. And so there's a lot of coaches out there that are like, listen, Judd, you're not making it 3 years. And so it is good. And I think that's what's healthy, right? And especially in college athletics, all of our coaches, and really even for us, like, we're super competitive. I mean, you better believe, and when I mentioned in 2019, our number in 2019 to where we are today, that's totally motivating a lot of what we're trying to do too. We want to continue to see growth, and I think that's the competitive spirit that we have, even as administrators and fundraisers, to try to continue to grow, because we also view this as opportunity for us to continue to support our programs the way they deserve to be supported and funded. So, it's a good time.
Tyler, which program did you donate to?
So I give unrestricted. So we have the Student Athlete Experience Fund. So I have not given directly to any program. Now, maybe if they give me some of their like Herbie branded swag, I might be swayed a little bit. Which may be how Judd gets it done, because some of the Herbie golf swag is pretty good.
Herbie golf, Herbie is sweet.
It's really good. So I'll put that out on the airwaves. If there's any coaches that are listening that want to sway my my dollar a little bit, I can be.
I mean, shout out to everybody here. I mean, it's already a massive success, and you have a lot of time left until noon tomorrow to donate. And just looking at the numbers, I mean, athletics specifically already over $1 million, and there's a long way to go. I mean, this is considered already a a massive success. But shout out to everybody that's donated. I mean, this is it's big.
Agreed. And I think that's maybe one thing I want to challenge is like, although we've surpassed this goal and we've already probably gotten close to surpassing the total number we did all of last year, is trying to keep the steam on, right? There's still so much to accomplish. There's still a lot of challenge funds that have not been unlocked yet, even ours. Like we have some participation challenges that haven't been unlocked. And so I think just encouraging anybody and everybody to get on that website, make a donation, please participate, because it really, truly does make an impact.
All right, Connie, Huskers.com/glowbigred. What else do Husker fans need to know and how they can get involved?
The website's glowbigred.unl.edu.
Okay.
We have a different one.
Oh, Huskers.com.
We have two that we'd redirect,
sorry,
but yes,
sorry.
either way would
Thank
work.
you.
Either way can work.
Either one works.
And then if fans are interested in giving to a particular sport, I'm sure it's easy to navigate, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Appreciate
Shout
the
out
time.
track and field. I'll tell you what, I've been refreshing ever since like 5 o'clock.
It's fun.
Just looking at the leaderboard. It's very interesting. And I know these coaches are doing the same thing right now.
It's very fun. And truthfully, what I would tell you is all through the hours of the night, right? Like there'll be people participating across the globe with this. So it's pretty fun to even wake up tomorrow morning and see how things have changed.
And you guys are pulling all-nighters, you and your staff?
We'll be here late. Ben Cuman, who really is the brainchild behind our strategy with this, told me that he's got kind of a hall pass tonight. So he's got a young family, and he already told his wife that he may be out at the office late. So it is a little bit of a grind, but it's also fun.
All right, so going on till noon tomorrow.
That's
Central,
right.
Noon Central.
Yep,
if you're for our listeners across the country, we do have those that we have from coast to coast that tune into Sports Nightly. So Huskers.com/glow. GLOW, Big Red, and that will get you there and point you in the right direction. All right, thanks to Tyler, Kai, and Connie White for being here with us on Sports Nightly, and congratulations on a great start, and hopefully it keeps rolling for you
Thank
guys.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks to all the donors who made a gift.
Absolutely. All right, we got to step aside for a break here on Sports Nightly. Much more to come. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
The work is dirty. and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. It's always about a competition, right? We're in the competitive business.
Got to compete.
You got to get those coaches. Who would you say is the most competitive coach?
Coach Rule's tough to beat. I mean, I haven't met all of them, Faith, so I don't think it would be fair for me to give a real. You'd probably be more qualified to answer that question.
It's kind of hard because I feel like we go through all this, and I see it every year, like about Fred Hoiberg and Amy Williams. They're the nicest, kindest people, but they have that killer instinct. You know, you won't find them more competitive.
That's why, like, if I say one coach, I mean, you're telling me Fred Hoiberg's not competitive. You're telling me Amy Williams is not competitive.
I know, but then, and then we just had Peter Cobelt on, and, so it's just.
That dude does a lot for his program.
I know.
So it's like one answer wouldn't be good enough.
No, they're all very, very competitive. Look, I think bottom line is, and I don't know if we talk about it enough, and Troy has been very complimentary of the roster of coaches that he was able to, come into here. But it is a really, really impressive roster of coaches. And I think it's why you see the success that you have. And this is an important day, the Glow Big Red, to help continue to raise in this day and age and what we're in Husker Athletics. So an important day.
Yeah, and so track and field, cross country in first place. They had a couple of big donations. Volleyball's slowly creeping to the top of that leaderboard. I'm very interested when I wake up tomorrow morning. This is going to be the first thing I'm going to check because having had this conversation to start the show, being invested in it, I am very interested to see who wins out as a program to get that $15K for their program. You heard Tyler talk about that. And the fact that they're already over $1 million for athletics in donations when Tyler said it was $1 million combined between the university and athletics total last year. You're already over $1 million as athletics alone. I mean, that's kudos to them. I mean, that's a lot of work to get that done.
Absolutely. All right. So tough one last night. It's crazy because you and I were sitting down there and we were talking, and when it started to get a little out of hand there in the first half, we were kind of saying it's been a while that really, I mean, maybe at the beginning of the season when we were talking about Huskers hadn't gotten off to a great start. Remember those early season games? They hadn't gotten off to great starts, but it's been a while, and almost every team has a game where they just are not things are just not going right. And it kind of felt like it was going to be that game, but then they started to get it going and then fought and got back in it. But man, just the offensive rebounds and the turnovers, you just cannot give up those kinds of numbers and expect to win a game like that.
I thought that last night when we were talking in the first half, and there were some Purdue possessions where the student section was out of it. I mean, how could you not be? It was 14-1 in the blink of an eye. I just thought, let's chalk this up. This is going to be a 40-minute clunker.
Yeah, you kind of said this team's kind of due for...
They're due for a 40-minute clunker. They've had some bad halves. They've had some bad media sections in between timeouts. This might be a 40-minute clunker. You might just going to get blown out, and it is what it is, and people are going to overreact. But the fact that you're down 22 in the second half, they had 20-plus more possessions than you did with offensive rebounds and turnovers, so 20-plus more chances to score. And the fact that you found a way to tie the game late, down 12 with about 2-plus minutes left, and you had a free throw to go up. Rink had a free throw to make it 69-68. And you did get a stop on that final possession when it was tied to force overtime. I mean, credit to Nebraska. It's just sort of the epitome to this team. But Fred said it in his post-game press conference last night. You lost the game in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You lost the game when it was 14-1. You just came out flat the entire first half. Uncharacteristic turnovers or just sort of lazy passes, and defensive rotations were late. There was a lot that was uncharacteristic, and in the end, it was too much, although it almost wasn't, which is pretty miraculous.
I thought they just looked out of sorts on the offensive end, and then once it got out of hand, then I thought you saw guys doing things that you just don't see, and they were just trying to, and I think Coach Hoiberg said this too, it was like they were trying to make it all up in one possession as opposed to doing what they do, and then we saw that in the second half. They started getting stops. And then it started in the first half. They just couldn't capitalize just because of the lack of rhythm on the offensive end, and then, boy, you get down 22, and I'm sitting in the media room. I went back there and was watching from there and starting to work on some stuff for the TV show. And I was like, whoa, what's going on?
There's some people that left with about 4 minutes left that probably wanted to get back in.
And then, but that just goes to show you the caliber, what this team is still capable of doing. When they have that good of scores, they are that deep that when they can pretty much overcome any deficit.
They took a full half off against a preseason favorite to win the national championship and still almost won.
Yeah.
I mean, and they with the team that has almost, you could say, the national player of the year in Braden Smith, they gave up 21 offensive rebounds, allowed them 20-plus more possessions. I mean, you look at Kaufman-Renn, he had 19 rebounds. Clough, who was 45, big guy on the inside, he was a nightmare in the first half. He had 10 offensive rebounds. Just the amount of extra. Now, Purdue helped them down the stretch, right? Missed free throws, bad possessions. They had open threes that they missed. There's a lot of things that Purdue had to do up 22 to let Nebraska in the game. But it speaks to the character of this team that even the first few minutes out of the second half, it was still sort of the same. Purdue hit a couple shots, and the crowd was trying to get into it. And shout out to those that came last night. Like, they were trying to drum up the energy at certain points for this team, and it just wasn't there until they went on that big run in the second half. And I think good sign, too, Rink Mast, it feels like his shot's back, too. I know we were waiting for his 3 to get back. He was 4 of 7 last night, hit some big shots, and all in all, that you could look at it as a negative because you lost the game, but I think there's some positives.
I thought he willed, especially in the last few minutes. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence made some big shots, but I thought the way Rink made some great passes, some big shots. I mean, I thought he really willed this team to get back into it and get it into overtime. And I kind of had a bad feeling when he fouled out, just with the way that they were rebounding the basketball, because he fouled out within the first minute of overtime.
Pretty quick in overtime.
I felt like it was going to be a tough mountain to climb once he fouled out, and then of course they gave up the offensive boards and gave up the second chances. And but man, what a fight! And I saw some comments and had some folks ask me about, well, is that going to lose their seeding? It's still a long way to go. A lot of basketball to be played. And listen, some teams that are ranked ahead or just around Nebraska that are fighting for those seeds lost last night too.
Yeah, Iowa State lost to TCU, is a bad team.
Illinois lost.
Illinois lost at home to Wisconsin. How about Wisconsin's resume? They've beaten Illinois and Michigan on the road this year. They're fighting to be a tournament team. Their resume is really, really solid. North Carolina lost on the road to Miami. I mean, there's teams around them, not just in the Big Ten, but nationally when you talk about the seeding conversation, that certainly it was not worst case scenario last night for Nebraska.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is they've got it would take some really monumental, terrible losses for I think this. They've done enough at this point, and then with what is ahead on the schedule, I think if they keep taking care of business, they've positioned themselves to continue to have a favorable seeding going into the NCAA tournament. And, you know, we talked about it last week about what would you feel good about going into the NCAA tournament, or about, you know, if they Big Ten tournament, if they lost a game, of still being, you know, a 2 or 3 seed, because the 1s, 2s, and 3s, even 4s get some the favorable location wise regional in those first and second rounds for fan attendance. So I still think it's still look, it doesn't ruin anything at this point. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Now you have a favorable schedule ahead. We've outlined this before, but also you do that. You play the way you played in the first half against Purdue on the road at USC or UCLA, you're probably going to lose that game. If you play the way you played on the road in the first half, there's a good chance that, you know, in the second half you might have some runs, but there's a good chance you're not going to win that game on the road. I think it helped them, too, that they had the home crowd. They were inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, and that aids the run when you have that behind you. When you're playing at Iowa and you put up a clunker in the first half, that's going to be a much steeper hill to climb in the second half. So there's got to be learned lessons out of this. But when you look at the schedule ahead, compared to some of the other teams, the Michigans, the Illinois, and who am I missing off the top of my head? But Michigan, Illinois, we'll just go with Purdue, Michigan State. They have harder schedules remaining. I think Nebraska, amongst the elite of the Big Ten, has the easiest schedule remaining. Now, there's more cushion for Michigan. Michigan sitting back with a grin on their face last night because that loss helps their cause to have a little bit more cushion for the Big Ten championship. That's not out of the realm of possibility yet for Nebraska. It gets a little bit harder, but Michigan certainly loved that result last night.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a break. Got a couple more segments left before our Nebraska men's basketball hour coming up in hour number 2. And Husker fans, softball season is back. The Nebraska Huskers are hitting the field and ready to bring the heat all spring long. Come experience every big swing, every strikeout, and every win at Bowlin Stadium. This is your chance to be a part of the action and cheer on your Huskers as they compete in what is sure to be an unforgettable season. Grab your seats now at huskers.com/tickets and let's pack the stands all season long. Go Big Red. We'll be right back with more of Sports Nightly coming up after this.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to IIAN.org/careers today.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Call SOS, a trustworthy company since 1950. Their technicians don't earn commission. This equals fair treatment to their customers. SOS is a family-owned third-generation company, and now to celebrate the 75th year in business for a limited time, get a new York AC or furnace for $75 per month. Get you and your loved ones comfortable again with SOS.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
Call 402-391-2336.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. So on the chat, Kyle, Shane Jensen said play on the road like they did the last 15 minutes of that game. They could go 7-0 these last games.
Yes. So there's both ways of looking at it.
You were saying if they played in the first half, they could have some problems.
I think there's a deep dive into our personalities. He is a glass half full. I am I guess habitually glass half empty. So that's one way to look at it. I'm negative. He's positive.
You are negative Nancy. He's positive Polly. Kind of how you and I are.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You're the negative Nancy, and I'm the positive Polly.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. All right. Well, also announced, since we have been on the air, we have a kickoff time for the spring game coming up on March 28th. So it is going to be at 11 a.m.
I'm excited for that. It's going to be an early one for me. I don't get up too early, so 11 a.m. is pretty early, but we're used to that at times during the season. No, it'll be a lot of fun.
We don't have a full pregame show.
No, not a full pregame show. We'll have some sort of ramp up to kick off, but it will be an actual spring game this year. We've talked about, I know Coach Rule had said the date pretty early on when we had him on last month, that they're starting up practice too, is in the release on February 21st.
Yep.
So that's next Saturday.
Yep.
They're starting practice. So everything's pushed up this year. It's a lot earlier. So that'll be one of the first spring games that gets played in the country.
I also feel like it's condensed a little bit more. I feel like in the past, because of when it started, there's been a spring break in the middle, and so maybe it's been spread out a little bit more. So yeah, getting started a week from Saturday, and also there's going to be some football availability coming up next week, so we'll be able to preview the spring. It'll be interesting to see because this is always a big storyline at the beginning of spring, talking about the mat drills and all the work leading up to spring is always like has been a big part for this program, and that's getting shortened because it's starting almost a month earlier. So that's condensing the strength and conditioning. So it'll be interesting to see what the takeaway is from a shorter, which I guess I know it'll be on the back end, and they'll address some of those conditioning and strength and all of that, at other times. But it's just usually been such an important time, and it's been a big storyline. So I'll be curious to see how that affects spring football and what the messaging and kind of what guys have to say about that.
There's a big off season for a lot of guys, especially at the line of scrimmage, defensive line. Those guys have a lot to prove. And where does it start? It starts in the weight room. It starts with strength and conditioning, and it starts with guys beginning to win jobs in the spring. We like to think about fall camp. That's where these position battles start. No, you're going to have 3 quarterbacks going into the year that are essentially vying for a starting spot, or at least believe that they can start. They've all started Power 4 games. That competition, it's probably started already in the film room and through some of the other conversations, but it starts in earnest once spring ball kicks off next week.
Okay, I'm throwing something on you here, but it just came to me. Rank your top 5 storylines that you're most intrigued by.
Well, you're really making me work here with my brain.
5 to 1, 1 being the most intriguing. Or you can start with 1.
5, continuation of the success and some of the good things we saw with the secondary and the additions of what you get with the secondary. I'd put that with 5 because there's a lot of new pieces that you're getting, a few new pieces at the safety position. You have some of your corners back. Some of the deeper names, the Amari Sanders, the Jeremiah Charles, how do they factor in to the secondary? I'll probably go down a level on the defense for number 4, a linebacking unit that I think is going to take a step up this year. Owen Chambliss, what does he provide to that defense? Of course, knowing Rob Orich's scheme, I would put that up at 4. I think probably 3 for me would be Rob Orich in general. How does he set his identity to that room, his system, his way of doing things? How does he change the identity of the defense? What do we see from them in spring heading into fall? What does the spring game look like for the defense? So that was 3. 2, I'm going to combine 2 into 1 for number 2.
What? That's cheating.
No, It's going to be offense in general, but it's going to be Jeep Wade and the offensive line. How do those new transfer additions, what kind of impact do they make? Is a Tyler Canuck, is a Gunnar Gatula going to break into that mix with the 3 guys you brought in?
Gunnar Gatula goes through spring, right?
No, probably not, right, with the injury that he had. But eventually, does he factor into the equation? Does Tyler Canuck factor into the equation? You have Evans and Pritchett who have come back, and then the 3 newcomers that come in. And I'm gonna squish in the running backs too into sort of that 2 mix, because what kind of jump does Mekhi Nelson take and Isaiah Mosey? And then for me, it's number 1 with a bullet. That's the quarterback. Anthony Calandria, TJ Lateef, Danny Kalen. What does that look like?
I am a little surprised. I would switch. I would probably go defense, Rob Orich 1, quarterbacks 2, then...
And I didn't even say defensive line either. That's one I missed on. But that's me doing it on the fly.
Yeah, I didn't prepare you. I literally thought.
I would probably put defensive lines probably 2 for me behind the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks 1, defensive lines 2, and then you could put offensive line 3. I would probably get rid of the secondary 1 and move the linebackers down to 5 and then push everything back. I'll separate my running backs and offensive line into their own category.
So Rob Orich is 4?
Rob Orich, I would put him at I'd put him at 3.
See, that's 1 to me.
Okay.
Because I think that's, obviously they needed to make a jump defensively, a new system. I'm curious to see just overall the improvements that he makes. So that's 1 to me, and then quarterbacks is 2.
Okay.
Is it?
I like my list.
It's great. It's a great list. Good
Me
job.
I plant
Good
my
job
flag
on the fly coming up with
just ripping it through my brain. I gave you like 8 different options.
I know you basically combined
Don't tell me to do a Mount Rushmore.
Position group, every single position group, and you combined it into 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it. Follow the rules.
I'm a hedger.
Did not follow the rules. All right. Well, again, coming up February 21st is the first practice.
Can you believe
and then
it?
again, March 28th is spring game, 11 a.m. kickoff. But next week will be tickets.
I don't think I'm ready to do my spotting charts yet, Jess.
You're not?
I don't know if I'm ready to dive into a whole new set of spotting charts already. But we're going to have to.
I mean, and probably the numbers will change.
Of course they will.
A million times.
Yep.
And there's going to be a lot of changes. Like, even if you just think about your charts.
I've never prepared for a spring game before, right? So it's different. It's an inter-squad game, and I don't know when the teams are created. It could be week of. It could be a few days before. Am I going to get a heads up on what the rosters are for the red team and the white team?
Probably not.
Yeah, they ain't telling me.
But I'm saying, like, even if your charts, like, think about some of your charts, like, there's a lot of differences.
Yeah.
Like,
it ain't going to be easy.
So.
But that's why we do it.
How long did you spend on building the first chart? How many hours?
For the Nebraska-Cincinnati game?
Yeah.
Oh, probably I can't give you hours because it probably started in late June when I got the job.
Got the job?
Yeah, probably even before that.
I was going to say.
Because there were different versions of it, right? Mm. Every time I'd go to practice and I'd switch people around, or I'd have somebody way too high or way too low. So I was constantly changing.
Yeah.
So that was from June to week of August. The kickoff was August 28th, so that week.
Well, it's going to be a busy day because not just football. We've got baseball, softball, hopefully a men's basketball team that will still be playing in the
You
NCAA
might not
tournament.
even be at the spring game.
Nope, I know. You
might be skipping out
honestly,
the spring game.
I hope I'm not.
Me too, because that means we're talking Sweet 16,
It means that we've got
Elite
a basketball team that's deep in the NCAA tournament.
But we got to cover that with our best, and they ain't sending me out there. They're sending you out there.
All right, got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Life is busy. Wouldn't it be great if someone could help you manage your insurance?
Well, I do have a lot to keep on top of. Between the house, my life insurance, the car. Like you said, life is busy.
A local trusted choice independent insurance agent can help you with your research, coverage selection, pricing, and claims at no extra cost to you.
Which means I'll have more time to spend on other things.
Trusted choice independent insurance agents. We'll help do your insurance. You just do you.
Husker Nation, get ready for some Monday morning madness. Spend your President's Day with the Huskers this Monday with an 11 a.m. matchup with the number 15 Iowa Hawkeyes right here in Lincoln. The Huskers only have 2 games left at home, Husker women's basketball. So now is the time to watch them in person before they head to the Big Ten tournament next month. Tickets are still available for this can't-miss morning matchup. But don't wait. Lock in seats today at huskers.com/tickets. That's a big one for women's basketball, but they have a big one tomorrow night, which we'll have on the air. We only have a 30-minute show. They're at Minnesota coming up tomorrow night. which they need to win. They need to win tomorrow night, but then a big one on Monday morning, which should be fun.
Yeah.
They're going to be on Big Fox.
That's on Big Fox.
Yeah.
So get out there. It is a President's Day, so most of you should have work off, and if you're around the area, make sure you get there. Now, Minnesota tomorrow, that's a tough test. So they're 9-4 in the Big Ten. They're 10 in the net ranking right now. So that is another really tough road game. But when we mention women's basketball, unfortunately, in the same sentence, it's missed opportunities with resume building wins. This is a chance to beat the 10th best team in the net on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quad one chance for you to get back in the right direction. Did not go well the last time you were on the floor against Maryland. So this is another big opportunity for them.
And listen, they've got to find some wins. We talked about this the last time we were on the air. They had such a great start to the season, but the committee wants to see teams that are playing well and not on a trending down going into March. And so, they've had a great season, but they need to get some wins put together. But this would be a great opportunity. And then you follow that up with a win at home against Iowa with a ranked team. Hey, there's some couple big opportunities left right here coming up in the next few days.
Looking at Jeff Grish's release he sent out yesterday, 7 of Nebraska's 8 losses have come against current net top 20 teams. So there's a lot of losses that are in there that they could have sort of turned their resume around. But the good thing about the Big Ten is it has a lot of teams that are going to make the tournament, and you have a lot of chances moving forward, including that Iowa game, who's top 15 in the net, coming up on Monday. So that's another big opportunity.
All right, again, that will coming up tomorrow. Again, 7 o'clock tip, so 6:30 pregame. So we will be here with you for short show leading into pregame with Matt Coatney and Jeff Grish. Bruce on the chat said, I've got a question for Kyle. What do you say to fans that if Mass made that free throw that Nebraska would have won?
Fallacy of the predetermined outcome. It's tough because maybe it's a different shot on the other end. If he hits that free throw, I don't know. I have no answer to that. If he makes that free throw, do I think they probably win that game? I'm 95% they probably do win the game. But does that change what their shot is on the other end? Because now they're trailing as opposed to, hey, we put up a shot, we still have overtime. Does it change their thought process? I don't know. But I think they probably do win that game if he makes that free throw.
I think they probably win that game if he doesn't foul out. I'll say that.
Yeah. You got to credit Purdue, too. Like, they missed a lot of free throws. There's a lot of things that they did wrong in the final 15 minutes and on the road. When you blow a 22-point lead, a 9-point lead with like 2 minutes left, you could crumble. I mean, I saw the faces of those guys on that bench at Purdue. It looked like they saw ghosts late in the game. I mean, so they were in a scary part, but credit to them. I mean, they found a way to win that game, and it was a slippery floor out there at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yeah, not good. All right, so we're going to talk more about that with the head man himself. Fred Hoiberg going to be here coming up in hour number 2 with Kyle for our Nebraska men's basketball hour. So going to dive all into that. So should be a great hour. I'm going to head out, but I will.
Where are you going?
I guess I'll go try to walk Sunny.
Okay.
But we'll be back for 30 minutes tomorrow. About 30 minutes.
Okay, I'll take it.
And then coming up on Friday, we'll be able to talk some softball with Nate Rohr.
I love that.
We got a big softball weekend, another big softball weekend. So it's a fun time of year. But coming up next, again, big hour, Nebraska men's basketball hour coming up with Fred Hoiberg and Kyle Crooks. Keep it right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
It's time for the Nebraska Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Bounding it is Frager. Hoiberg lets it roll, picks it up as it crosses the timeline. Need a three right now. Hoiberg mass shoots the three. It's on the money.
Got it! Smack down the hole. Right down the avenue. It's a 2-point game. 68-66. Huskers with a 2 will tie the game. 20 seconds left to go. It's Hoiberg with the basketball. Hoiberg changes speeds, drives it. No call. Where's the foul? Put up and in. Put up and in by Mass. Brink Mass with 12.8 to go. 3-point play chance. Huskers have tied it at 68. Here's Jamarcus. Up against Smith. Up top. The curl. The take. The layup. Good! Sanford on a great find by Jamarcus. 77-75.
Now with Fred Hoiberg, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Nebraska Basketball Show. Kyle Crooks with you, talking all things Husker hoops. And, of course, very special guest here in studio. We have the head coach, Fred Hoiberg, with us, talking about the game last night, talk about what's ahead coming up with Alumni Weekend. We'll have Cheryl Burbach as well in the final segment of the show to talk about what it took to wrangle everybody to get back here. We'll honor as well the 96 NIT Championship team, the 30th anniversary of that. But first things first, Coach, welcome into studio. It's been a while since I've had a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you, Kyle.
So you had a chance to dive into the tape. I know we listen to your press conferences when you do post game with Kent and Jeff, but at that point you don't have a chance to really dive into the tape. When you look back at last night, frustrating first half. What are some of the takeaways?
Yeah, it was. It obviously was a very frustrating start to that game, and the team that was the preseason #1 team obviously picked to win our league. We spot them double-digit points in the first 3.5 minutes of that game and are forced to call a timeout. We talk a lot about forcing the other team to call the early timeout by getting off to the better start. That didn't happen last night. And then we regrouped. I thought I had a really good middle portion of that first half to climb back into it. And then at the end of the half, we did not play well. We didn't contest well enough. Obviously, rebounding was an issue all night. And then the second half, we got back to being who we are, and that was with ball movement. That was playing in our flow, in our cutting was great. We found the right guys, and our urgency defensively was where it needed to be to get back into a game when you unfortunately dig yourself a 22-point hole. Now, the energy it takes to get out of that hole is a lot, and to have to try and make that up in really about 12 minutes. You expend so much energy when you have to do that. But that being said, all those things considered, we still had a chance to win that game. And, it's unfortunate with what happened at the end. I replayed that last sequence in my mind 100 times, as I was laying awake staring at the ceiling, overnight. And, Jamarcus made a great play. I thought Jamarcus in overtime was really good. Hit a nice little floater, hit a big three on the wing, and then made a great play to kick it out to Sam, who had a great look. It looked great. I thought it was a really good stroke. It just missed a little bit long. We get the stop, and then the theme of the night, Kyle, we just could not come up with the rebound. They get it. I thought it had a good possession, and then they buried us on the inside, and they called the continuation and one foul for Clough, and then we slip on the inbounds play coming down. So, a lot of learning lessons from this game. We'll get a good film session with our team tomorrow, just like we do every game, Kyle. Win or lose, we're going to prepare the same way. We'll go in and have a lengthy film session in the morning, and then get out on the floor, flush that one, put it behind us, and start getting ready for Northwestern. When you look at the rebounding, some of it can be unlucky bounces, long shots, long rebounds, some of those things. How much was that when you chart the rebounds, and how much of it was maybe effort, physicality? Yeah, listen, the size, the length that Purdue has, you're at a disadvantage, from the beginning. But that being said, you have to be more physical. And I thought not only were they bigger, but they also were the more physical team last night. And, when you hit first and you've got a 3, 4, 5 inch size advantage, you're not going to make that up. You got to be the first one to make contact. You got to get into their body. You got to wedge, and you got to keep your feet moving to create rebound area. And we just did not do a good enough job with that. Obviously, Clough dominated on that end. He had 10 offensive rebounds on his own. But they got 76 shots, Kyle, to our 59. Not only the offensive rebounds, but the turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic of our team. We have been very good all year as far as taking care of the basketball. But you give a team that many extra possessions, it's hard to beat a really good team like Purdue.
Yeah, 21 offensive rebounds for them to 6 just for you guys, and then the 14 turnovers, and then here you are, a tie game, a free throw, a chance to put things, a chance to go up. But when you look at it, maybe learn lessons moving forward when it comes to tournament play and for the rest of Big Ten play is that you need a full 40 minutes, right? You can't have 20 minutes where it's this level of play and then all of a sudden you kick it into gear a little bit late.
Yeah, or 15 in our case last night. But, again, that shows you what we're capable of. When we're clicking, when we're hitting on all cylinders, we're as good as anybody in the country. When we're not, we're very pedestrian. And, again, they get out 14-1 early, and then they build that thing up to 22. So, yeah, you just you have to play consistent. You have to do it in this league, and our guys have done that. For the most part, they've been really good. They've been consistent. They've been connected. They've been together. It's what you have to do to win in this league. Our guys have done a really good job of that all year. We're 21-3. A lot of painful lessons in this one because we felt like we let that one slip away, let Michigan slip away. And, but we've won some of those as well, Kyle. We've won some close ones. So, again, just learn from it, move on, and get ready for a talented Northwestern team.
Chatting with Fred Hoiberg here on the Nebraska Basketball Show. Price Sanford, and you can see how defenses, he is the head of the snake, top of the scouting report. It's tough for him to get open looks nowadays when you're having the season that he's having. I'm interested from an offensive mindset, and you're an offensive genius in this, but how tough is it to scheme things up for Price now the way that defenses are playing him?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to run him off a lot of action, and I give Price credit. I mean, the amount of miles he's putting on his body with the screens that we're running him off, he's expending a lot of energy out there on the floor. We ran a couple motion plays for him at the end of the game. He had a really nice curl to the basket to score the go-ahead bucket when we couldn't get the stop on the other end. But, he's doing everything for us on that offensive end, not only coming off screens, but he draws so much attention. He did a really good job last night of screening Rink when his guy was connected to him, what you call a top lock on the defensive end. When they don't let him come off the screen, he would go flare Rink, and that's what freed Rink up to get a couple shots that he knocked down, which was great to see. We're going to need Rink to make shots like that as we head down the stretch.
I feel like last night, Leo, with his injury, he's probably a guy to use him a little bit more if he's available because of the size. I mean, that felt like a game where you probably could have used him. And then Oogie, I mean, his situation is what it is. He redshirts, but I feel like Leo probably sees minutes last night. Yeah,
100%. Leo definitely would have been out there, and he was – after that Michigan game, the plan was to get him out there the next one. It didn't work out just with the matchup that we played against, and then unfortunately he got hurt the next day in practice. But yes, we're going to need Leo's size. There's no doubt about that, and he's continued to get better. When you look at what Leo has gone through in his development year, he's put a lot of size on. His body is night and day from where it was when he got here, and he's going to have to help us down the stretch.
And it's been a big trio of games when you look at it, starting with the Michigan game, Illinois, and then Purdue last night. And don't want to just throw away Rutgers, but you just look at the competition you've had. What have you learned about this team maybe in that trio of games?
Yeah, like we talked about, I learned we can play with anybody when we play the right way and when we do things that we've been doing all year. But at the same time, there's stretches where we've gotten exposed on certain things. That 3 completely different games. You look at Michigan, we're out 2 obviously very key pieces with Braden and with Rink, and you fight them all the way to the end. I thought we wore down, and probably rightfully so, with being as shorthanded as we were. And then Illinois had unbelievable momentum going into halftime of that game, built a 6-point lead, and then we gave them the momentum right back when we came out of the locker room. And then last night game against Purdue, it just, we haven't had a start that poor in a long time. There's a couple of stretches we had in the Oklahoma game early in the season, and then the game at Indiana when we dug ourselves a 16-point hole. But we found a way to win that game against a really good team on the road. We need to get off to better starts, obviously, with that if we're going to compete against the best. I thought Rutgers was a very disciplined game, a very workmanlike game. We just played the right way for 40 minutes. They made tough shots. They made the shots that your defense wants to give up. They shot 55% on contested long twos. You take that with your defense. But I thought we stuck with it, and we played a really good, disciplined offensive game that night.
Defensively, where do you think you guys are at right now, just overall?
Well, I mean, we are one of the top defensive teams in the country. We got, and Purdue, give them credit. I mean, they're third in the nation in offensive efficiency, and they ran a couple of actions that exposed us with the way that we play, and then we adjusted. I thought in the second half we were really good, and you held that team under 30 which is really hard to do, a team that's got all that firepower. But again, early on, it was too easy for them.
Yeah, and you look around this league, and I was watching when I got home from the game last night. Wisconsin goes on the road, beats Illinois. I'm watching around other leagues. Iowa State goes down on the road at TCU. You see how competitive college basketball is. I feel like it's taken another level this year, maybe of recent years, and the NIL age hasn't hurt competition in this league. I feel like the parity is much better now in college basketball.
There's no doubt about it. And then you look at North Carolina; they go down on the road at Miami as well. So it was that type of night in college basketball. But again, all we got to worry about is ourselves. We do what we're supposed to do. We're going to be just fine.
When you look at Braden Smith, what kind of makes him special when you see him on the flip side? You play Keaton Wagler, just two of the best players in the Big Ten. What separates those guys when you're game planning for the stars of this league?
Yeah, I mean, Braden Smith, he just – it's a pick your poison with him, what you're going to try to take away. And he did a little bit of everything last night. He shot it well. He's got an unbelievable mid-range game. He's really worked on that. He separates so well. He's got a lean on his shot that allows it to get off over bigger players, and he can make the contested ones. What I thought we did a good job of is we kept the ball out of the pocket, especially as the game went on when we switched up our coverage. In the second half, Kaufman-Renn is deadly on that floater from the free throw line, but they were spraying that thing around way too easy in the first half. But I give our guys credit; they adjusted very well.
Great stuff with Coach here in segment 1. Still have more coming up here with Coach Hoiberg on the Nebraska Basketball Show. The Nebraska Men's Basketball Coaches Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. We continue with Coach right after this.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to iian.org/careers today.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset. These trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same: a wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Welcome back into the show, Nebraska Basketball Show. Kyle Crooks, joined by Fred Hoiberg. Final segment, we'll have Cheryl Burbach, who's a radio star now, Assistant Director of Ops, talk Alumni Weekend at Northwestern coming up. Early tip, 11 a.m. Central Time start to our coverage on the network. All right, Coach, talked a lot about the game last night and great environments at PBA. I think, I hear the roar when I was thinking last night, I'm like, I'm going to ask Coach this. When you walk out of the tunnel, the team's already out there and you're on the big screen. Do you kind of get chills when you're on the big board and you're walking out, kind of the last one out, and the sold out crowd's going nuts? Pretty cool, isn't it?
No, not really.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you do, Kyle. Listen, you just try to go out there and get ready to go out and execute your game plan, and that's always a thing. That when the lead up time is, when I'm out of this business, is something I'm not going to miss. There's so much time, especially when you play those 8 o'clock games. There's just so much time. You think, do you have everything? Do you have your guys prepared? Are they going to execute? Do we miss anything? So all those things, that's what goes through your mind. When the butterflies stop, that's when it's time to get out of this business. You still have them. I had them as a player. Certainly have them as a coach. And then when the ball goes up, everything goes away. But yeah, it's going up. Talking to the coaches, that's one thing about our league. I think we all have great relationships with each other, and being able to talk to Painter before the game, talk to him after the game, share ideas, all those things. But it's been, our crowd was absolutely phenomenal. It was electric. We appreciate the support even when things weren't going well. And then when we got on the run, they kept us going with that. And I know every ticket is sold for the rest of the season. We're going to need it, but we have to protect home court with these last 5 games.
I almost got Coach to say he liked walking out there in the video board, but I knew that was going to be the answer that I was going to get. Talking about some of the guys, Kel Jacobson just he had a couple big threes last night. He's a gamer. Every time he gets out on the floor, does something positive. What would you see from his minutes last night and really of late?
Yeah, I thought Kale was a huge key in the Rutgers game. When he came in, we didn't have a lot of deflections early in that game, and then Kale goes out and gets 2 steals right out of the gate when he comes into the game, and that really is what got us going. That's what got us on a run. And when we have activity on the defensive end and we can get out and transition on live ball turnovers, that's certainly when we're at our best. And I thought Kale was a huge key. It was great to see him knock those shots down. He was in the gym, this morning when I got in there, and he's always working on his shot. And it was good to see that pay off. You love seeing that hard work, pay off for your players when they're getting that extra time in the gym. And, if he can knock down shots, he does so many other things for us on the court.
How fun has this been to watch Jamarcus Lawrence, come back here to Lincoln, have the performance like he has last night, but just how massive he is to your team?
Yeah, we go as he goes a lot of times with his pace when he gets us out in transition. Like I said, in overtime, I thought that was as good a stretch as he had all game with hitting the shot. I thought he played really under control and, did a great job getting to the what we call the hammer spot in the corner where Sam found him on a baseline drive for a three, and then he made a great play at the end, and we just unfortunately couldn't quite knock down this shot. But yeah, Jamarcus, having him back in, the one benefit when you get a guy back into your program is he knows everything about it. He knows the standard you want to live up to. He knows the culture. He talked about how much he missed that in the year that he was away. He knows the system on both ends of the floor, and he knows exactly what we want as coaches. And when you have a point guard that can do that, that certainly makes our job easier.
How hard is it, and how, as a coach, when you're scouting for a team like Purdue that has so much size and it's hard to get in the paint, to find a way to have some sort of paint presence, have a thought that, hey, we still need to dribble penetrate against these guys, get in the paint, cause some fouls. Like, is that something you tell your guys, like, hey, I know their size, but we still got to try and find a way to have a paint presence?
Yeah, in their top 10 in the nation and taking away the rim. And I thought we did a pretty good job of getting in there. We got 20 free throws, which is the most that we've shot in a long time. Unfortunately, we didn't shoot a very high percentage, only making 13. But that's hard to do against Purdue. They do a great job of not fouling, and they do a really good job of protecting. And we shot a good percentage from the three-point line. The one thing we did not do well is we were 0 for 9 on contested rim attempts last night. Obviously, their size had a lot to do with that, but you got to drive in there to make a play. We talked a lot about it. We did that on multiple occasions, but 9, that's too many to take as far as contested shots at the rim.
And Sam, what'd you think of his minutes last night? Of course, hits the big three towards the end of regulation, made it a 5-point game as you guys were continuing to climb back, but just his overall minutes last night.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's always going to be really solid, and that's exactly what he was again last night. And, we were starting to run a couple plays to get Sam downhill and get him to drive. We cleared out a side. I thought he made a really nice take against Lawyer. The other one, I thought he rushed a little bit. I thought he had a play that he could have made on that one. But as far as when you look at assist-to-turnover ratio, he's obviously done an unbelievable job. I think he's leading the nation in that category right now. I thought he did a really good job on Braden Smith in the second half. And, again, he's done a great job of making solid plays for the most part all year long.
And it's clear that, going down the stretch here, you're going to need Jared Garcia to play some sort of role, right? Especially you need to get Leo healthy, but what are you hoping to get out of Jared here? And I know you put him in pretty early yesterday into the game.
Just solid minutes. I mean, and we need Jared when he's in the game. He's got to score. So I didn't mind the 2 shots he took. I know he's not shooting a high percentage right now, but Jared does have a nice stroke. He obviously helped us win the game. I thought he was the key in that one at Illinois when we won that game early in the year. We're looking for him to be really solid, especially on the defensive end. Can't make mistakes when he's out there. We've got him guarding the 5 more. It's not quite as complicated, I guess, as the other one because you're not in rotation as much. But being as solid as he can when he's out there.
Kind of jumping around a little bit. I know you talked a little bit about it in your post-game press conference, but that final sequence, I think it was 4.1 left, and then Jamarcus slips. What was the thought? What was the best optimal look there?
Yeah, we got in Jamarcus's hands. If they took him away, we were going to hit Jared and flip it right back to Sam. And, we work on those situations as all programs do. And when you have 4 seconds, generally that's about 4 dribbles. So you don't have to chuck one up from half court after 2 dribbles. But the idea was to get Jamarcus. I thought he did a good job curling off of Jared to get downhill with his momentum, with his shoulders towards the basket, and unfortunately he slipped on that wet spot over there, and then Sam and Jared go over to try to help him, and they slip.
I didn't even see that till this morning. I'm like, those guys slipped too.
Yeah, but Jamarcus was going down there to try to, if he was going to create help, he was going to pitch it to one of our shooters, and if not, he was going to have to go down there and make a play.
Thoughts on this, too? I mean, having been in the NBA and the women's college game, advancing under a minute. For me, that's the one thing that I want to see in the men's game.
I agree.
Advance under a minute.
I agree. It creates a lot of excitement. You get an opportunity. Like, if you have a second left, it's going to take a miracle to get it done. If you can advance it, you can draw something up that at least is going to give you a good look. So I do think the advance rule, I don't know if they'll ever change it.
What's the hesitation? I don't understand what that is.
I don't know.
It adds more drama to the game.
Right? The only, I think, pro and league and in college league, obviously, that doesn't do it, with the women adopting that a couple years ago when they went to 4 quarters. And I think it would generate a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll start it here. Maybe we can get that going. The Huskers.
I've tried, Kyle.
That's right. The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Final segment with Coach coming up. Maybe we'll change some more rules when we come back. Another segment right after this.
Deer weekend. Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path, Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Life is busy. Wouldn't it be great if someone could help you manage your insurance?
Well, I do have a lot to keep on top of. Between the house, my life insurance, the car. Like you said, life is busy.
A local Trusted Choice independent insurance agent can help you with your research, coverage selection, pricing, and claims at no extra cost to you.
Which means I'll have more time to spend on other things.
Trusted Choice independent insurance agents. We'll help do your insurance. You just do you.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Deer weekend. Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path, Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Final segment here with Fred Hoiberg on the Nebraska Basketball Show. Cheryl Burbach will join me for the final segment, talk about the logistics of Alumni Weekend. I think 67 alumni in total, Coach, coming back here this weekend. So it's going to be a big crowd here for the Huskers in Northwestern.
It's always a fun weekend. I really enjoy it because I see a lot of the players that I played against back in the early 90s. And let me just first of all say that Cheryl Burbach does an unbelievable job. You know, not only this, her daily approach to come in and improve our program, she is absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, what she does to try to reach out to all the alumni to get them back here is not an easy job. But she does. She's really special at creating a lot of fun and, you know, bringing those guys back to, you know, relive a lot of great memories. It's going to be really good. Coach Nee came back last year. He's going to be back again this time. He did a home visit in Ames, Iowa, when I was in high school. He showed up in his 3-piece suit. And, yeah, it was great. He was an unbelievable recruiter, and you know, just to see all the players that come back, and they've been great. Henry T. Buchanan texts me after every game. Mm-hmm. You know, Bernard Day texts me after every game. Bo Reed texts me after every game, you know, Bruce Chubbuck. So, you know, just to create those relationships with people that have done so much for this program and, you know, to bring them back. I know it's a special time. They'll be at our practice on Friday. We've got a banquet and a dinner on that Friday night. We'll hear from several of the players. Danny spoke last year, was up there with Kent. So, you know, it's just it's fun. It's a fun weekend for everybody.
How much do you, especially this year, I'm sure the number of alumni that have come back, but guys that you coached here specifically, the importance of having them come back and maybe talk to the players, what's that importance to you to make sure you do that?
Yeah, it is good. And, you know, listen, our guys weren't even born when these teams were playing. And, you know, you can argue that team that won the NIT was one of the best in the history of the program. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's going to be several players from that team. They're going to be back, and obviously that's the team that we're going to honor this weekend.
Yeah, and 30th anniversary of that NIT championship team, so it should be a good environment, and make sure you get out, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of alumni at the game. All right, Northwestern coming up. It's the second time that you play them this year. Martinelli's he's an exceptional talent, one of the top scorers in the Big Ten. What do you take away from that first game and bring here to this one?
Yeah, last thing, the 30th anniversary, I think the only guy that was around at that time was Rink. Just kidding. No, but yeah, it's Martinelli's unbelievable. He's leading the nation in scoring right now. He's a problem. He's got so many different shots with his little flip shot that he can shoot from anywhere on the floor, and he's really improved his three-point shooting this year as well. He hit a couple of them on us in the first half. I thought he really overwhelmed us from a physicality standpoint in the first half of that game in Evanston, and we had a great second half. That was one of the better halves I thought we played all year. Our crowd that was there in Chicago was absolutely phenomenal. I think we had over half of the fans, and then obviously the sellout that we're going to have here this weekend. But Northwestern, they've got talent. They took Iowa all the way down to the wire in their last game. Iowa's now won 6 or actually 7 in a row now. Mm-hmm. But they lost that game by 2 possessions. So they played everybody tough that they've gone up against, and we're absolutely going to expect a battle.
Message to your guys, I assume it's off day today for you guys, but message for you guys next few days heading into this one.
Yeah, first of all, it's important to, obviously we've shortened our rotation, so we got to go into this game fresh. We got to learn from that game and then put it behind us. I told them after the game last night, we've done a really good job of putting big emotional wins behind us. Now, here's the flip side of it. You got to put the tough emotional loss behind you now. And, what will determine if you have success at the end of the year is how you handle those situations. Our guys have done a masterful job on the emotional wins. And now after that one, which, believe me, it's eaten away at all of us, still, it always took me a day, Kyle. When I was playing, it always took me to get back on the floor and have a practice before I could truly flush it away. And once I got on the floor and got a sweat and got some shots and got back into the flow, then I could truly put the game behind me. But, I saw a couple of them in the office this morning that were in there watching film or getting shots or treatment, and it is eating away at how we played. So that's, I think, a positive, but we got to find a way to put that behind us.
For you as a coach, I know you said you were up last night staring at the ceiling, but is it a 24-hour rule for you? I mean, because there's still a lot of season left.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I watched, obviously, our game last night. I watched it again this morning, and, now it's on to Northwestern and watching that film and the game plan that you have to put together to get your players past it. So, yes, I mean, it is. Listen, the emotions in this business, especially in the season, you do the best job you can. And, listen, you got to be there for your guys at the end of the day. You got to come in there. You can't be on an emotional roller coaster because then your players are going to follow.
How much in huddles, in games, do you have your players speak? What's sort of like the ratio of what you're saying in the huddle, and how much are maybe some of those in-game player-led?
My favorite huddles is when I don't have to say anything, is when the players are in there and they're talking to each other, or a player says something to me on, hey, I think we can run this play. And, early in the season, one of the guys came up and said, is it okay if I said, absolutely. If you see something on the floor, then bring it over, and, generally we're gonna run it. And our guys have bought into that. But when there's self-accountability in those huddles and you can see the guys being able to talk to each other and handle it the right way, that's when you got a special group.
I think that helps, too, when you have a veteran team, is that you have a trust that, especially veteran guards, that can come in and there's certain guys in there, and plus Rink that can lead a huddle like that, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's Rink. We missed that element last year within our team. And, not having that guy that could be the consistent voice, because that was Rink 2 years ago. I thought Rink and Josiah, as much as anybody, were the two guys that could really calm everybody down. And, having that dynamic back in our huddle this year certainly has helped.
I think a good thing, too, is it feels like Rink's shots starting to come back. I know Rutgers, it was more block to block, had those jump hooks working, but it feels like that three's back for Rink.
Yeah, he's after the illness, he's been able to get back in the gym and get some extra work in. And the one thing I love is when your players are in the gym and you can see that hard work pay off.
And I know it was a special game for you last night, the American Heart Association game. You mentioned, made reference to that in your post game. We know your past with the heart surgeries, but that was a special night last night.
It really is. And, for somebody, listen, I'm one of millions of people around the world that lives daily with heart disease. And, I was born with an abnormal aortic valve, and that led to my first surgery when I was 32 years old, which I had no idea. And, use me as an example. I was in the prime of my career. I just had my best season in the NBA. And after the season, I find out I needed open heart surgery. It was a complete kick to the gut. But I realized how fortunate I was to find out about that before it was too late, because it was just a matter of time for me. And then got that fixed, had a complication. I every time my heart beats, it's because of a pacemaker. I developed 100% heart block in that first surgery that I had. And to be able to do what I love to do with my heart basically not beating on its own is absolutely incredible, with the advancements that have been made in cardiovascular, events like I have. I mean, 40 years ago, I'd been plugged into a wall. So, the games like that to draw attention and, to help raise awareness. The biggest thing I talk about is get checked, and again, use me as a 32-year-old in the best shape of, my life, that I had a ticking time bomb in my chest. And then, that 10 years later, I had to get the valve replaced after my last year coaching at Iowa State. So having 2 open heart surgeries, but to continue to be able to be active and do what I love to do, I think speaks volumes. So very thankful for the American Heart Association, and I always love that game.
Yeah, it was a great message post-game and certainly a great theme last night. Few minutes left, but we'll leave you off on this. Sam had his headband game last night. Were you able to grab a couple of the headbands he had last night?
I didn't even realize that.
You didn't know
Sam
that?
No.
So they gave out Sam Hoiberg headbands for those, I don't know, however many thousand that came into the building. So, well, you're truly just plugged into the basketball. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't like these we haven't done well when we have promotions.
Yeah.
Let's just, everybody can dress how they want. Let's show up to the game. Let's have a business-like approach, and let's just go kick some ass.
Well, Coach, thanks so much. I know after this, you probably head back to film and getting ready for Northwestern. Big weekend this weekend, Alumni Weekend, 30th anniversary of the 95-96 NIT championship team. We appreciate you coming in, and good luck this weekend.
All right, Kyle, thank you.
That's head coach Fred Hoiberg. Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. One more segment coming up on the Nebraska Basketball Show. Cheryl Burbach, Assistant Director of Operations, talking all things Alumni Weekend. That's coming up right after this.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to iian.org/careers today.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Final segment of the Nebraska Basketball Show. Huge thanks to Fred Hoiberg joining us. I know it was a late night for him. He's already watched the game back a couple times and getting set for, you got to turn the page, Northwestern coming in. Second time these two teams will play this year. That'll be Saturday noon tip, 11 a.m. Central. Start to our coverage with KP and Coach Jeff Smith. So that's coming up on Saturday, part of Alumni Weekend. Every year, it's one of the best times of the season. I believe almost 70 former Huskers are back in town. Cheryl Burbach was a big part of the logistics of the whole weekend and wrangling everybody up and getting them back here to Lincoln, which is no easy task. A lot of events that are prepared for them, including a banquet the night before the game. They'll watch practice. They'll do a pregame tunnel walk. They'll be honored at halftime, amongst many different things. So a lot of different former Huskers coming back to town. Had a chance to have Cheryl in studio with us to talk about what it took to put all this together and what to expect on Saturday. Here's that conversation. All right, Cheryl, it's good to have you in studio, and I know a lot going into this weekend coming up with Northwestern Alumni Weekend. It's a very popular team and program right now, and I'm sure there's a sense of pride for the alumni that are coming back, but you handle a lot of the logistics of this weekend. So first things first, how many we expected coming back? And I'm sure it's going to be a hectic weekend for you.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have all the alumni back in the house and kind of celebrating their accomplishments and their impact on Nebraska basketball. We're expecting to have a record number back. We're going to have about 67 players, give or take, and plus we're also having some staff members that usually come too. Coach Danny Nee will be in the house, so we're excited to have him back as well.
And specifically honoring the 30th anniversary of the NIT champions in the 95-96 season. I know you work closely with the conference and just scheduling, making sure that this specific game and this specific weekend matched up with a lot of schedules out there, especially with the NBA.
Exactly. So before our season scheduling even started, our general manager, Luca Virgilio, reached out to the Big Ten and said, hey, if we can, have an ask, we'd really like to have a home game during the NBA All-Star break so that we can have the best chance of getting, some of those guys that are still involved in the NBA or involved in the NBA to get back to campus, especially from the 95-96 team.
Chatting with Cheryl Burbach, who is Assistant Director of Operations with Nebraska Basketball, does so much with the program, especially around Alumni Weekend. What are some of the events around a weekend like this? It's not just game day, right? It's the day before, and there's a lot of different things that surround this. So if you're one of the alumni coming back, what are some of the expectations for what this weekend's like for them?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the biggest thing is getting everybody back in the same room. And they all have that kind of shared experience of being a D1 basketball player, and so they can all kind of reconnect to campus too. I mean, there's not just it's also the fans, So it's everybody coming together to celebrate them. But basically, we have the agenda items are we're going to have people watch practice if they want to on that Friday morning. Then we're going to have an alumni team dinner, which is going to be at the beautiful Osborne Legacy Complex. And Keith Zimmer, who is our sport administrator, is going to be heading up that program for us. And we're going to enjoy some great food, catered by Flick, which is our amazing training table caterers. And just like a short program, then we're going to go to Memorial Stadium and take a tour for those people who want to do that. And then, we've got an early tip on Saturday, so we're not doing really anything on that Saturday morning schedule-wise. But at the game, then we're going to have the alumni do the tunnel walk for the current players as they come onto the court. We're going to have the alumni line up there. And then we're going to do halftime introductions of all the alumni, as well as a half-court shot by one of the alumni.
Okay,
to be determined.
So that'll be a last-second thing, deciding on who that might be?
Well,
they have to talk amongst themselves?
We're kind of keeping that under wraps.
Okay.
We have a yes.
Okay.
In the past, we've had Eric Strickland do the half-court shot. And then we had Eric Piakowski do a half-court shot, which he drained it on the second shot. So that was pretty exciting, made the crowd go wild. But yes, we have someone lined up for the half-court shot, so it'll be fun.
Importance for Coach Hoiberg just to make sure that the past is represented in the current and in the future. What are maybe some of the conversations you've had with him as you reach out to the alumni and how important that is to him to have the past still a part of the program?
Yeah, it's great to have a supportive coach, that supports our alumni. Kind of once a Husker, always a Husker, and that's his mindset. And anytime anybody reaches out to him, he's wants to make sure that they're heard and get them connected to the program. And that just kind of brings me to something like if you're out there and you're a part of the program and you're not hearing from me, please reach out because we want to add you to the database and get you reconnected because I know that's what Coach Hoiberg would want to.
What have you seen in the uptick in former players coming to games just throughout the year? I'm sure it's been a little bit different this season with the success that we've seen.
Yeah, it has. It's been great to see, guys. We had DePriest Owens at Ohio State. I know when we go to California, we're going to have a couple guys, reach out and, be in the stands there at the alumni. So it's really fun to help them out with tickets and if we can, because we have a lot of families that travel this year and we have a lot of coaches' families that travel as well. So it's great to see them and see their pride and see them wearing the alumni jackets that we give them every year. It's great just to, keep them connected to the program.
Is there an opportunity for fans to interact, maybe mingle with them on game day? I'm sure a lot of fans listening would love to get a chance to chat with some of the players on that 95, 96 team. And, I mean, there's multiple decades that are represented here in the 67 that you said are coming back.
Yes, yeah. Not formally, but, informally, they'll be on, in the arena, Section 111 and Section 112. So if you want to go, reach out to them, they'll be there. And, we're looking forward to an exciting weekend.
And Cheryl, I wanted to talk about, so your role is vast. There's a lot of things that you're doing behind the scenes, team travel. I mean, you can go on and on about what it takes to make sure a team gets through the season and things don't fall through the cracks. What are some of the other areas of your job that help this program continue to move forward?
Yeah, well, I always just kind of describe my role as anything off the court, so it can be anything from, being liaison with, our donors, making sure all the bills are paid, making sure, Coach Hoiberg's speaking requests are heard and, and organizing all that. So, it really does vary day to day. And then as well as in the summertime, we have our Fred Hoiberg basketball camps. So I manage all the business office type of, behind the scenes with that, making sure all the kids have their physicals in and, they're signed up for the right thing and making sure that, they see the trainer if they get a bloody nose or something like that. So it's just, it's a wide variety of work that I do, and it's a lot of fun. It's an honor and a privilege to work for Nebraska basketball, for sure.
And making sure Coach is here for his radio show as well,
yes.
which we appreciate.
Yes.
You schedule out that well in advance so we know. Cheryl Burbach, who is one of the unsung heroes for this program and the amount of work that she puts in, specifically around this weekend, Alumni Weekend, coming up Northwestern. It's an early tip, 12 o'clock tip, but you'll see some of the former players, a lot of different decades represented, including honoring specifically that 30th anniversary of the 1996 NIT champions. Cheryl, can't thank you enough for coming in here, all the hard work that you put in to make things happen. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Huge thanks to Cheryl for joining us here on the show. And you heard Fred talk about it on the show a segment ago, just about Cheryl's impact on this program, not just in the logistics of this weekend, but everything that she does with team travel and all of the different things that it takes to run a program and make things smooth. So we appreciate Cheryl for hopping in studio and chatting with us. The theme, and you look at the big honorees, will be the 1996 NIT championship team, 30th anniversary of that group. And they've situated it with the NBA All-Star break to get some other guys here as well, and worked with the conference office to make sure that they could set up this home game for this alumni weekend to get to everybody they could back here in Lincoln. So looking forward to that this weekend. Again, 11 a.m. Central start to our coverage. KP and Jeff Smith will have the call. Northwestern and Nebraska early tip on Saturday. It's a big one. We know a little bit of the disappointment of the Purdue game, but life rolls on and the season rolls on. We do know that. And it's a big opportunity for this team to get back on track and get a good taste in their mouth. To think that this team was down 22 in the second half, down about 12 points with 2 minutes left. I mean, the way that they were continuing to fight back and force overtime and just one free throw away from possibly winning that game in regulation. Huge thanks to Josh Hilkeman, Camden Cohn, Fred Hoiberg, Cheryl Burbach. I'm Kyle Crooks, and this has been the Nebraska Basketball Show.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for Holland. campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com.